Good evening. Okay, I understand there might be a few mistakes in the minutes.
Should we do a roll call?
Whoops, yeah, I guess better do roll call. Everybody's here.
Jim Weber,
Here?
Dina Ori,
Here.
Ed Zosky,
Here.
Belinda Young,
Here.
Mike McCarthy,
Here.
Mike Kelly,
Here.
Gina Driscoll.
Here.
We have a quorum. Everyone is present.
All right. Now to the minutes of last month's meeting. Do you know what you got there? What do you got in the minutes?
Norm wasn't here, of course. Gina needs to be on the first sheet, I think.
We don't want to take Norm off the minutes, apparently.
And then I noticed on the back side, on
Turn your mic
case 20 PUD1, it says recommended denial, which should have been recommended approval.
Approval. So noted.
Then case 20 SUV5, it has me making a motion to second it. I think that was Belinda. And there was one other one that you sent a notice out on. I don't remember what that was.
I think that was the one for denial.
Huh? Was
I
it?
think so.
Okay.
Wasn't that it, Ty?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was what I mentioned. Thank you.
Okay, so with those corrections, can I get a motion to approve the minutes? Okay, so Mike McCarthy. And who else? Belinda?
That is Gina.
I second.
Gina? Okay.
That doesn't matter.
Somebody.
It doesn't matter. Somebody
We got 2 seconds.
put anybody down.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Thanks for your alertness. Thank you for your alertness.
Oh.
Okay, so that's get rid of that.
Ready? Okay. All right, the first 2 cases we're going to run together. Case 20-SU-06, petition of Roy Source of Source Enterprises for a conditional use to allow for the operation of an adult use cannabis processor organization located at 3201 North Main, PIN number 010123100018, and case 20-SU-07, petition of Roy Source of Source Enterprises for a conditional use to allow for the operation of an adult use cannabis transporter organization located at 3201 North Main, PIN number 010123100018. Okay. Mr. Source?
Yep, thank you.
You could raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead.
My name is Roy Source, Source Enterprises. I'm hoping I'm here today, or tonight, just to answer some questions regarding my application. The original reason is that the state requested 2 separate zoning approval applications for crafting and infusion. However, when I originally filed my zoning request, they had changed the form to include crafting, infusion, processing, or they're calling extraction, all in the same application, but East Peoria has them listed as 3 separate applications. So originally, when I came in here and filed my motion in December, I thought I was just filing for crafting and infusion, and then I did realize I also needed the city's approval for a transport approval, which is why I'm requesting additional zoning board approval for both processing and transportation at the same location from the last meeting. Hopefully I have your support again and for my additional request for the cannabis and processing.
Okay. Any questions, Mike or Regina? You guys switched places on me.
I'm first up now for some reason.
You switched on me.
Yeah. I honestly don't have any additional questions. I think any stress I've had about it was alleviated the last time you were here.
Great.
And again, as long as you comply with the other ordinances regarding the 1,000 feet and all that stuff, I have no problem with it at all.
Thank you.
Mike? Kelly?
Mr. Source, because I was not here last month, and obviously I am aware of the case and had talked with you.
Yes.
And from the couple additional documents that I received, it looks to me like you're in the area that you're going to do the processing is, what was one of the freezer sections, is that the Xed off area?
That's correct,
And that's
yes.
what you're using for that, so it's already a contained area within the building itself.
Yes.
Excuse me, Mark, within the building itself, and that it falls within the guidelines as far as the distance that was talked about last month in terms of from road use, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And there's a case where you're going to set up additional question. I mean, I don't know what's involved with draining off the oil or whatever off of the plants, but I assume it's some equipment that is going to be set up in that area. But still, the freezer must be one large building, so you're still going to have enough room to be able to do your processing and oil extraction and have room to maneuver around within that confines of that. Is that correct?
Yes, and actually, there's 4 freezers there. We're going to reconstruct them to meet within the zoning requirements. So there's actually, what you see, and you see a picture of freezer number 3 and freezer number 4, and then you see the picture of the X on there. So there's a couple different options, and I actually have a gentleman that originally built these for us coming in on Friday to make sure everything's going to fit the way it is. But he looked at the plans earlier. He's going to come down and physically walk through it and make sure. So we should have no
So in other words,
issues.
you're going to remove the freezer walls that were set up within a freezer confinement area because that's insulated panels and everything, and then which opens up that room area a little bit more then. Is that-
That's correct, yes.
Okay,
It'll still be confined area, non-public access.
all right. And then do you have to do something different with ventilation in regards to that area then?
There is ventilation required, and it's on a spec sheet that we'll get, once we get the license approved. The company I have drawing up the interior plans, we're going to call it, has all those laid out based on state requirements.
And then what about fire suppression within that area? Because I know with the freezer, you would have had a different set of fire suppression system set up than what is going to be now, correct?
Correct, yes. That's the plan, yes.
And it's going to comply with the fire department regulations?
Definitely working with Ty and the city and both the fire marshal and police and everyone else, yes.
Okay. So the only individuals that are going to have access to this area are the employees that work there then?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. That's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. McCarthy?
I have no questions.
Belinda?
I have none either.
I don't have
Ed?
any either. I'm good also, good luck.
I'm good also.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Anyone else like to speak for or against? Okay. Did you have something, ma'am? Okay. Yep. Next case is 20-SU-08, petition of Randy Marchand for a special use to allow for an accessory structure in the front yard with non-traditional facade located at 617 Illini Drive, PIN number 010126300021. This one of you, Randy? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Do you have pictures?
Yeah.
Okay. It started out as a slab about 15 years ago, and then I put up a lean-to, and then as it was getting colder, I put on some sides for it for the boat. It is in the woods. Where my house sits, it's basically a ditch on both sides. The lean-to is probably about 150 feet up from the house, off to the side, and probably about 200 feet maybe give or take, from the road. And you really can't see it, except maybe a little bit when the leaves are down. But I can't hardly see it when you can't even see it from the road. And there was no way to put it on the side because it's too much of a ditch on each side. So that was my reasoning, and I probably should have checked on it before I did it. But I just started throwing it together and didn't even think about that part.
All righty. Well, we might have some questions for you.
Okay.
Gina?
Okay, aside from the fact that we should have approved this in the very beginning,
Right.
which, water under the bridge, right?
Right.
I looked at some of the ordinances, and the first one that stuck out was that if it's a metal exterior, it needs to be finished with factory-applied paint, which I did not get close enough to it to check that out, but I believe Michael did and said it is.
Yeah, it came like that. It's
Right.
a pro rib.
And so the next one that concerned me is anything greater than 150 square feet should be of the same materials or similar materials as the house and architecturally consistent. So my question to you would be, how do you plan to finish it off to maybe comply with the ordinances?
So to make it look like the house, you're saying?
And to finish it off with doors or anything else?
Well, I don't know if I was going to finish it with doors. I was just going to leave it as like a lean-to with an opening.
Carport.
Yeah, it's like a car. It's really a carport. Yeah, that's a better name for it. So I pull my boat in and out of it. So, but it doesn't look like the house at all. But you can't even. It's like a structure out there in the middle of the woods. You can't even see it from the house.
If I can jump in. So Gina, you are correct that the code does ask for greater than 150 square feet to be consistent with the quality of the home. There is a special use for accessory structures, and that's what's being applied for here, that does permit the structure to reside in the front yard, which it does in this case.
Right.
And also be of a non-traditional material. And that's also a part of the request here. So
Okay, so the request is actually to vary from the architecturally similar
correct.
constraint.
Correct. So there's kind of two pieces to this special use request. It's
Okay.
having it in the front yard, and then also the non-traditional facade materials.
Okay. I'd say then that my only concern is that I really think it should have some sort of a closure on it so that, I realize it's not viewable from the street, but I think it should be closed. If you're pulling a boat in and out of there, if it could have some sort of a large door or something that would, I guess, close it off and make it look a little bit nicer.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Mr. Kelly?
Mr. Marchand, I did go and look at your structure, and I took some pictures of it. And you have basically a 4x4 framework with steel sides, and the steel sides are 2x4 structure with, they are painted steel panels. You do have an angle on your roof, but Gina's right with as far as an ordinance, as far as trying to make it somewhat like the house, but in this case, it would be a special use for accessory structure. And I believe in order to comply with it, that you are going to have to frame some doors on that. And I think probably the best way, I do have a lot of carpentry construction experience, but because you have an angle there, if you just do a straight line across that. I keep forgetting that on the pitch of your roof, that you can do part of the face of the gable end to drop it down to make your doors straight across, and then just make two swing doors out that will comply with, at least comply as much with the special use in the ordinance as far as providing a complete building as opposed to just a lean-to or carport area, because that's not really, it looks like a carport, but, it's got an angled roof, and it's really set up with different. And And as long as you make your framework, your wood framework structure with steel panels that you have on the rest of it, I think that would be sufficient enough to comply with the regulations. And then it also gives you some additional security.
Right.
I mean, because honestly, I know you have a boat in there and some other stuff stored in there, and quite honestly, anybody could drive in your driveway, back up, hook up the boat, and then go. I mean, I know they could break your door and hit it all
Yeah.
out, but the point
I mean,
is, it's
I
just
have-
like an open place
I have the
there.
trailer locked, but, I mean, they could cut it. But
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's the recommendation that I would make to you, sir.
Okay.
And in order to help comply and make it, to comply with the special use part that you have door built and put on there, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. McCarthy?
Yeah, staff has indicated the recommendation for approval provided it can be fully enclosed, so I think we're really talking about the door. And there are options there. You can do sliding tracks and panels. You don't have to go the extent we have in this room here, back here. But there can also be accordion-type things that can be tracked across it with a horizontal header, as Mike has talked about. There's probably some very inexpensive ways to go about it
Okay.
that would still get you in compliance.
All right.
That's all I've got.
Linda? Ed?
I'm good.
I'm good also.
I'm good also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else here to speak for or against it? Nope. Okay. Yep. Right. Is everybody okay with doing 6 and 7 together? Royce?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Will the establishment, maintenance, and operation of the proposed special use permit be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare? No.
No.
Will the proposed special use permit be injurious to the use or enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for uses permitted in the district?
No.
No.
Will the proposed special use permit diminish or impair property values within the surrounding neighborhood?
No.
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 Excuse me. Will the establishment of the proposed special use permit impede the orderly development or improvement of surrounding property for uses permitted in the subject zoning district? No.
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 Or have adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, or other necessary facilities to be or have been provided?
Yes.
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 Or have adequate measures to be or have been taken to provide ingress and egress from the site, minimizing traffic congestion and hazards on public streets?
Yes.
Yes.
And last, will the proposed special use permit conform to all other applicable regulations of the zoning district?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, based upon our deliberation, I make a motion to approve the request for the special use permit to go to council.
First, for SU 6 and 7, Mike?
This is for SU 06
And 7?
and 7. That's,
I'll second it.
Okay. So the two mics?
Two mics.
Mike and Mike in the evening.
Roll call vote. Jim Weber,
Yes.
Dino Ori.
Yes.
Ed Zosky.
Yes.
Linda Young,
Yes.
Mike McCarthy.
Yes.
Mike Kelly,
yes.
Gina Driscoll.
Yes.
All voting in favor.
Okay, everybody ready for the next one?
Yes.
All right, this is for case 20-SU-08. Will the establishment, maintenance, and operation of proposed special use permit be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, and general welfare?
No.
Will the proposed special use permit be injurious to the use or enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for uses permitted in the district?
No.
No.
Will the proposed special use permit diminish or impair property values within the surrounding neighborhood?
No.
Will the establishment of the proposed special use permit impede orderly development or improvement of surrounding property for uses permitted in the subject zoning district?
No.
No. R, have adequate utilities, access, roads, drainage, or other necessary facilities to be or have been provided?
Yes.
Yes.
R, have adequate measures to be or have been taken to provide ingress and egress from the site, minimizing traffic congestion and hazards on public streets?
Yes.
Yes. And will the proposed special use permit conform to all other applicable regulations of the zoning district?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Mr. Chairman, based upon our deliberation, I'd make a motion to approve the request for the special use with the added addendum that the structure be finished within a 90-day period of time, and that being the front of the structure, putting some type of doors on that structure concurrent with the sides and the roof as far as the steel structure and color matching.
do you have any of that steel left over?
I can get hold of it.
You can get it?
It's a stock.
Okay.
I don't know why we need doors. Carport.
Okay.
I'm second.
Anybody want to second that?
I'll second it.
Glenda? And does 90 days give you enough time to get that done?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Jim Weber,
Yes.
Dino Ori,
Yes.
Ed Zosky.
We're not going to discuss it.
Did you want to discuss it?
Discuss.
We're not discussing it. I just don't know why anybody has to put a door on the carport. Does that make any sense? There's thousands of them that don't have doors on.
Ed, are you a yes or no?
No. That's what you want?
Belinda Young,
Yes.
Mike McCarthy,
Yes.
Mike Kelly,
Yes.
Gina Driscoll.
Yes.
6 ayes, 1 nay.
Okay. Anyone want to talk about anything not on the agenda?
No.
Okay. Have any new or old business?
I have none.
Anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Ed Zosky
I'll second that.
and Dino.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have a motion to adjourn.
That's our way. Doors on.